So if I was to describe what Ian does, it would be to help people. Now that seems like really basic, great, so we're going to help you. But the reason I think that's important is because if you're good, Ian has the potential to make you better. If you're great, Ian has the potential to make you greater, and so on and so forth. It depends on the business. In our case, he would get, so if it was a department, he would get the senior people in that department together, and in true Ian style, he'd ask how everybody was, and you end up just having an informal conversation. And oftentimes the first time people leave going, wow, that was 2 hours of a chat, interesting. But what then happens is Ian will follow up on an individual basis. So he will go back to any one of that group who he sees as a leaver or who he sees as struggling with something and have a one-on-one with them. And that's where the real skill comes in, because it's all about reflection. The people will be talking, and then it could be just one, yeah, you're probably right, it could mean this moment back to them, and the light bulb goes off. And I've seen it a lot. I've seen it recently where people will go into a session and come out and know that something has changed in their world. Not materially for everybody else, but in their world it has. So they're looking at things differently. And the team around them then are experiencing a very different version of that per person. So then you bring the team back 2 or 3 times together, and this is what I mean about people not paying attention. Because from that, it's like boiling frog. You don't pop it into boiling water, you cold water and turn the heat up, and that's what Ian does. You literally don't see the transition from we're really trying to be good to, well, we are quite good. That moment there, people end up just going, yeah, well, we were always like this. You weren't always like that, but cool, that's how you feel, that's great. So I would encourage anybody who is thinking of doing business with them to pay attention and benchmark the start, because you will see the differences. But the differences and getting there can be so subtle that if you blinked, you might miss it. But the fact is, it wouldn't have happened if you didn't have been involved in it. So it's human capital. So let's talk FT or economist language. Human capital. That's the most valuable capital in the world. And what does Ian do? He specialises in human capital. So if one were to look at it a different way, he would think of a venture capitalist, or think of an investment firm. They would go into a business and make them better, make them much more attractive, and then somebody would come along and either invest even more in that business or else buy them and take them to a much bigger stage, as has happened with us. That's what Ian does for the people in the business. So if anybody's going to do business with him, they need to know that you either buy him as he is and embrace it, and it's not a course. That's the other thing that's important to say. He won't be coming with modules. It doesn't work like that. In the same way that any emotion and any team dynamic, true team dynamic, doesn't work through emotion, it works through practice. And you've got to consistently come back to it. Think high performance coaching from a sports perspective. That's what Ian will do for your heart in business. That's really what it is. So you can't just do it. So, otherwise I'm really terrible, because I've been doing business with Ian for 20 years. But things have gone quite well in those 20 years. But would I do business with Ian for the next 20 years? And do I feel that I want to do business? Yes, 100%. I would have Ian's help and support and poking, for want of a better expression, down as one of the success factors in our journey. And the ability to hold a mirror up to me as a leader and others in the business as leaders has been priceless.